Hi everyone! So often when we embark on this journey of trying to heal our bodies from chronic disease or chronic pain or hormonal imbalance or just random pain and aches that constantly a struggle for us, we can feel so overwhelmed, especially if we start talking to people or we start looking at Google for advice. Everyone has a different opinion. Your friend is saying this, your mom saying that, your father saying that, your brother saying this, someone swears by this doctor, and then you turn to Google and Google will tell you about this diet and that diet and this supplement and this superfood, and it's just all so overwhelming. Where do you even start? I've been down that rabbit hole. I have tried almost every single supplement under the sun. I've tried different treatments. I've spent a lot of money on trying to heal my body. And while some of these things have helped me tremendously and fast-tracked my healing journey, a lot of it was also a complete waste of time, and I ended up running in circles and spending a lot of time and energy just chasing my own tail. And I realized that there's no magic pill, there's no magic diet or doctor that's just going to wave a magic wand and boom, you're healed. And unfortunately, that's the reality. The beauty of that, though, is that we have everything that we need in this very moment to maybe not heal in this moment and have a magic wand, but to take the next step towards health and towards healing our bodies. And if you think about everything in life, like nothing comes out of the blue. Everything that happens that's big or massive started small. If you decided you wanted to run a marathon, like you can't just run a marathon overnight. You have to train. You have to start with maybe running 2Ks or 5Ks or 10Ks, and then train, and eventually after a couple of months you'll be able to run a marathon. And the same goes for healing. It is possible for our bodies to heal from these diseases, but we have to take time. We have to give our bodies time, and we have to know that it is a process, but that it is very, very much possible to live in a vibrant, healthy body. And so every time you feel overwhelmed, just take a deep breath and focus on the following 7 principles that are very basic steps that we can take daily to ensure that we contribute to health. If we think about it, every single thing that we do every day, every single thing that we think, every single thing that we consume, single thing that we eat or drink, contributes to our health or it takes away from our health. So it's either contributing to health or it's contributing to disease. And that's the fact. And so the beauty of that is the moment we start looking from that perspective, this big thing about healing and what I need to do becomes a really small thing, because all we need to do is focus in the present moment and ask ourselves, what can I do in this moment to take the next step towards healing my body, to take the next step towards a healthy, happy life. And so these are the 7 steps I've taken every time I feel overwhelmed, and it's helped me tremendously in my journey. And it's so important, especially if you're coming from a very American-based diet, very processed diet. I used to eat lots of processed food, lots of junk food, lots of sweets and chocolates and cream stuff and inflammatory foods. So the switch for me was very difficult. Of course, if we want to heal our bodies very quickly, it's wonderful if we can make the switch to very clean diet quickly. But the truth is, I think the majority of us don't have that ability. And also, if we take it step by step, it becomes a new foundation, and it's not as easy to fall off the bandwagon, because it's not a bandwagon, it's a foundation. Okay, so firstly, try and increase the amount of fresh vegetables and fruit you eat in a day, and decrease all the inflammatory stuff. So that being like red meats, processed meats, dairy, anything that has a very long shelf life, because that means that ultimately it was chemically enhanced or treated. So try and stick to anything that's in its natural form. If you had to look at your plate, for example, just like a basic thing is like if you used to eating 300-gram steak with some chips, what about just changing the steak from 300 grams to 150, or even better, swap it out for some healthy fish, and take the vegetables, and instead of having the chips, maybe have some sweet potato chips, or have some roasted vegetables that can be just as yummy and delicious, and has a lot more nutrients and doesn't have all the nasties in it that chips do. So try and like make small changes. For example, if you had to make your own spaghetti bolognese, make your own sauce. Use some fresh tomatoes, use some nice herbs and spices, throw in some vegetables like onions, peppers, baby marrows, carrots, and all of a sudden a sauce is a healthy, nutritious thing that is part of your dinner. You're adding lots of nutrients, and you also, because you're adding lots of nutrients, don't feel like you have to overconsume. That often happens with things that are not as nutrient dense. And then change the pasta for a nice like zucchini noodle or something like that. So try and incorporate a lot more veggies, even in breakfast. Instead of having like bacon, eggs, and sausage, maybe have bacon and maybe have egg and like some asparagus, or egg and some broccoli, or sauteed mushrooms and fresh tomatoes with some nice herbs on them. There are lots of things that you can do, even swap it out for a green smoothie. Lots of health bloggers that have amazing recipes. So try and just see in your day, where can you incorporate fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. The second thing would be to change the thing, whatever it is that you're drinking in the morning, and drink hot lemon water with some turmeric, cayenne pepper, ginger, honey, if you can manage. Otherwise, just hot lemon water, maybe with some ginger, as much lemon as possible. Lemon is amazing. It is so healing for the body. It creates an alkaline body, so it's very anti-acidic, which is amazing. We want the body to be alkaline, because disease only lives in an acidic body. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial, antiviral. It has a lot of vitamin C, so it strengthens the immune system. It's just all around amazing. And apart from that, like if you start your morning with something as healing and as fresh as lemon juice, you're setting the tone. Like you most likely to eat a salad, but if you start your day with something really unhealthy, it's very difficult to then kind of turn it around for the rest of the day. So start your day with that, and then you've already started. And then the third thing would be try and cut out gluten. I know there's a lot of misconceptions about gluten. A lot of people think it's a fad. The truth is, it's very, very difficult for your body to digest. So even if you think you are not gluten intolerant, it's still difficult for your body to digest. And when we're trying to heal our bodies, we have to allow our bodies to do its thing and healing, but it can't do that when it's so busy digesting gluten and trying to just get this nasty stuff out of your body. And it has a really congesting effect on the colon, and we want the colon to be clean. So try and stay away from gluten. If you can, try and swap out pastas for like vegetables alternatives like zucchini noodles and butternut noodles and all those things. If you want, you can also try chickpea pasta, lentil pasta, rice pasta, and if you really want, you can also try spelt pasta. Spelt pasta does have gluten in it, but it's a lot easier to absorb and digest for the body. So that's a great alternative. When it comes to bread, try swapping it out for seed crackers or for rice cakes. And if you're able to get a bakery that does long fermented sourdough bread, you can try and see how your body reacts to that. I have a bakery that makes the best long fermented sourdough bread. The gluten is a lot more digestible for the body and doesn't really affect my body. So it's worth it to experiment and explore and see what works for you. Just be wary of too many gluten-free products out there that's still filled with like lots of sugar and processed stuff. So the closer we can go to one or two ingredient product, the better. Okay, and then dairy, other one. I know there's a lot of people that think dairy isn't bad for you. I'm not saying it is, but it is really difficult for the body to digest. So when you're trying to heal again, you want things that are easy for the body to digest, especially when you're struggling with any IBD or IBS, or you're struggling with skin problems. This all is indicative of a toxic colon, and you don't want anything in your colon that will stay there that your body doesn't know how to process, and that could eventually leak into your bloodstream. So stay away from dairy. Rather try almond milk or coconut milk, and if you don't really like the taste of it, maybe try and not drink anything or eat anything that you necessarily will use those things. Like, I don't particularly like the taste of alternative milk, so maybe once in a while I'll have a red cappuccino with almond milk, but usually I just skip it, and I'd much rather have like a nice tea, nice flavor tea, or some hot lemon water, or some freshly squeezed orange juice, or something like that. And then that brings me to the other thing, of course, is what we drink. Oh my word, this is so important. I, for the longest time, was in denial about the impact that the things that we drink have in our body. It is important to know, like, every single thing we consume affects our body. Every single thing. So what we drink is important. Become mindful. What are you drinking? Sodas create a lot of acidity in the body, so try to skip that. Try and replace it maybe with water that's been infused with some lemon, some ginger, some mint leaves. It's actually really tasty, and it's because there's electrolytes in it, a lot more hydrating for the body than all this chemically treated water. So try that. Maybe try a herbal tea that's really calming on the nervous system. If you don't like the taste of herbal tea, try rooibos tea. Just experiment, and where possible, try and stay away from coffee, especially when you're in the process of healing your body. It's such a big issue for people. I struggled a lot with not drinking coffee, and now I honestly can say I don't miss it, because the effect on the body after a while, after you haven't drunk coffee for a while, you then start drinking coffee, is like massive. You just realize this is not healthy at all. But if you want to heal your body, you have to stay away, because it really does affect your adrenals, and the adrenals are key to healing hormones and autoimmune diseases. So yes, stay away from coffee as far as possible, and then try and make your food tasty. This is the biggest thing. I think the biggest misconception is that like healthy food isn't tasty, especially if you grew up in an environment that like vegetables just wasn't part of life. Vegetables can be so tasty. It just has to be prepared in the right way. And the funny thing is, I find that vegetables doesn't need a lot to be tasty. Just butternut just needs like a little bit of olive oil, some cumin, some cinnamon, roasted in the oven, and I will eat just butternut. It can be that amazing. So try and make the food tasty, because if you're not going to make tasty food, you're probably not going to stick to this diet, and you'll get frustrated and you feel very resentful towards your disease or whatever health you currently struggle you currently face. So try and make it healthy. Lots of cool Instagram bloggers and bloggers that have amazing recipes, so I'll try and link some of that below, but you can just check up and Pinterest or Instagram. Just amazing people out there that have wonderful recipes that are a great source of inspiration, and just walk down the aisle. I just say, if you like, walk down the aisle, look at the vegetables, ask yourself what looks nice. Ooh, broccoli, take the broccoli, and go home and see, like, Google, how can you roast broccoli? What can you do to make it tasty without adding too much to it? We want it to be like in its purest form if possible. So try and make food tasty. And then the most important thing for me is that we have to become present with our bodies. We have to start listening to our bodies. Now, I recall the day someone had said to me, listen to your body, and I was like, my body doesn't speak to me. Our bodies actually do speak to us. It's just that we haven't really been taught to listen. And our bodies are amazing. We are not victims to disease, and we don't have to be so afraid of everything. We just have to understand that our bodies are amazing. Our bodies have been made wonderfully and fearfully, and it really is trying to work towards your benefit. I know when you're struggling with a severe chronic disease, it doesn't feel like it, but trust me, it is working towards your benefit. And so once we start listening, slowly, when we get in tune with our bodies, we can start feeding it, and we can start doing the things that will help us on this path, that will enhance and fast track our healing journey. And this, I can say, there is no amount of money that you can spend on anyone or any doctor or any medical treatment or anything that can do the work that your body knows how to do, but you have to connect with it. For example, like I used to be very tired, but then I'll tell myself I can't go to sleep because I still have so much work to do, or I still have to see this friend, or I still have to phone that one, or I don't want to disappoint this. Or when I started to try and eat healthy, I would go to friends, but I didn't want to tell my friends, oh, I don't eat this anymore. I didn't want to sound like this crazy person that's now not eating gluten or dairy and make everyone's life difficult. And so I ended up eating things that aren't healing for my body, and then I couldn't understand why my body wasn't healing. And so it really is important that we start listening. If our body tells us we've had enough, listen to it. But it isn't easy. So my advice there would be just to take time. Now this might sound very airy-fairy, but take time to connect with your body. So after you've eaten, ask yourself, like every time after you've eaten, how do I feel? What does my stomach feel like? How does my body feel? Do I feel shaky? What information is my body giving to me? And drop into your body like 5 times a day to check in. How's it feeling? Are you feeling sweaty? Are you feeling relaxed? Are you feeling calm? Are you feeling full? Are you feeling bloated? And soon you'll start connecting the dots. Oh, I did eat gluten, and actually I do feel bloated. I didn't realize this before, but I do. Or actually, when I eat a lot of, I don't know, broccoli, this actually aggravates my stomach. So maybe I shouldn't eat broccoli. Although this is healthy, it doesn't mean it's healthy for you in this very moment. If you're struggling, especially when you're struggling with ulcerative colitis, stuff like that can be very difficult for the body. I'll make another YouTube video on that and on people struggling with IBD and ulcerative and Crohn's and IBS, about what to do. So watch out for that. But if you start connecting with your body will tell you this. Be like, okay, that's no-go, broccoli no-go. Maybe somewhere in your life you'll be able to eat that again, but in this moment it's not the best thing for your body. So try and connect. Take 5 minutes every morning to just maybe lie down, do a bit of meditation, and feel the energy in your body. Feel how you feel. What is your body telling you? Is it tired? Did it sleep enough? Did it rest well while it was sleeping? Because we want our bodies to rest properly, because that's where it heals. We want our bodies also to tell us, oh, it needs a lot of vitamin C, I'm feeling sick, so that we can recover quickly and that we don't have to feel sick all the time. So it's a silly thing, but our bodies really are telling us this. I can tell you, it's winter here in South Africa. I've been drinking so much vitamin C and so much like freshly squeezed orange juice and grapefruit, and every single time I have a sip, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It just tastes so good. And it tastes so good because this is what my body needs now. And so just tune into yourself. This is above everything the most important. So these are very basic steps. I hope they help you in like guiding you into transitioning into a healthier lifestyle. If you have any comments, please list them below. Subscribe to my channel, and as I said, I will upload a video soon about IBD and any gut related things. So if you have questions, please let me know, and yeah, see you soon.